So guys, this is why I tell you it's never good to jump to conclusion. With when you see the story broke that Ibrahim Traore fired his prime minister, but the prime minister that they claim was fired, um, he gave a press conference and he was basically explaining what his next steps was. But take a listen to it, because this doesn't sound like someone who was fired. I think he more like sound to me more like he's a resignation or some issue is going on, something going on. But I don't think it's like everyone sure you just get up and say you're fired and dissolve government. That's not the case. But take a listen to this, and then we can see if we can get us some more information to see what actually went down. Take a listen. Boom. I would like to send my congratulations to the new Prime Minister, Jean Andre Andreka, who have been working since 2012 together. He's, and with him, we have achieved a lot of results. And I think in his new post, he will continue to develop the skills for the general interest of the nation. Through him, I would also like to convey my thanks and my gratitude to all the members of the government. I'd like to start by congratulating the Secretary of General himself for the promotion through the government. So you can see that in my government there were a lot of promotions. So I would like to thank the new Prime Minister and the Secretary General of the government to convey my gratitude and congratulations to all the members of the government. It was a team of sharks. We all worked together well, everyone gave their best and we achieved results. Unfortunately, when we sow, we have to wait a while for the harvest. Not all the seeds do grow at the same time. This means that we want to always see the results of a lot of things we have put in place. But put in place. But for more than 2 years, we have worked in full fraternity and unity, and the Council of Ministers worked hard, confidentiality sessions, and we did not get bored. We worked in full fraternity, so we had a good time. So much so that each minister was thirsty every time the council called. Council of Ministers said that because it is the most good we have had. So I'd like to thank and congratulate to all my gratitude to many of the people. Many people have said congratulations and encouragement. Finally, I'd like to convey my encouragement and congratulations and gratitude to the Abraham Traore. He's the one who have called me, and with that, we have moved forward together. At the beginning, he was my boss, but he became my boss, my friend, and my brother. During all the time we have worked together, there will not be a single time of diversion. We have conversations from different points of view. This perhaps the methods that could have diverged, but we had the same convictions and the same objectives. So as I said, he was my boss at first. Now he's become my boss, my friend, and my brother. Under his leadership, we have achieved a lot of results. As I said earlier, you do not yet see all the aspects of we have achieved. But as I've assumed there is an advantage. You have seen the inauguration of the tomato factory in Bogota. There are others. There is the mining residue treatment plant, and I can tell you that the head of state has a great project and a great vision for the country. And if what you have in mind come true, I can assure you that the years to come will be years of prosperity for our country. So I ask you accompany me in this direction so that we can all benefit from it. You know, in Burkina Faso, we have a few priorities. First of all, it is security. We came at a time when, under the leadership of the former president, Klawe, insecurity was in full swing. It was not the case when we arrived in October 2022. But under his leadership, the one I call the strategist, he was able to equip Burkina Faso in a short time, both materially and personally, to allow the country to face another main enemy. Currently, which is insecurity. Then there is the rebuilding of the state. It is ongoing. It would be good if we could continue in this direction because without a rebuilding state, without our real state, progress will be difficult. So let me just stop it there for a quick minute. We're gonna continue. I just want to say this. Like I said, I said in my video I post about this that I'm gonna wait until Abraham Churi comes out and say what's going on because I don't listen to other people. Everybody's speculating that Abraham Churi calling him President Abraham Traore, junta leaders. That's what they are. The devolved government. So all the Western medias are bashing him currently. But true patriots and true believers in Abraham Traore knows that he does not take decisions lightly. And according to what I'm hearing here, this is more like there's maybe he's a health issue, so he's resigning, or is there something in his personal life that's hindering him from fulfilling his commitments? But I don't see this, and the way how he's handing over the torch and he's praising everybody. This is not a man that looks like he's been fired and there's a issue, because he can't eventually his brother, his friend, not just his boss. And as he said, they grew to become friends and brothers. So I'm still gonna wait to see exactly what is taking place. But from this video, it gives you an insight of to what might have happened. Instead of, so don't listen to these other Western news. And I even hear the Ghana ambassador trashing Abraham Churi to show you how deeply colonized their minds are, and they're dependent on their colonized masters. Anyway, I just want to say that. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section at the end. 'Cause I will not give any more commentary after this, but I will keep bringing the videos to find out what's going on. But I know it's nothing out of the ordinary. You know, it's not. This is not going to stop the growth or whatever eventually is putting in place to bring Burkina Faso to the peak of um to the top of democracy, economical growth, and all of that for his people. But let's finish this video. And as I said, let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Boom. And in this rebuilding, I think that the transformation of the mentality, deployment of the is necessary so that people can become aware of all the real state of our society and the objectives that we must see set. You agree with me, so we cannot develop a country in indiscipline, in disorder, in filth. When I was in office, and one of the first objectives that I assigned to the Minister of Transport and the Minister of Security was to just to jubilate the population of Burkina Faso, to make sure that they have respect for the road, people wear helmet, people respect the road, and that we do not want to be on the road, while there are cyclists on the side, which causes a lot of traffic accidents. It is serious. But we have been confronted with a reality. The various ministers of security have told me that currently the personnel in charge of the control of mobilizing the road, what is left is not enough to ensure control. However, it is difficult to rule a kingdom when you don't have the means to apply. So it was difficult to say that now we have to respect the road, to wear the helmets, etc. If there is no personnel to do the controls, it is possible sanctions. So that's why the project thus far has not received an application. But I think that now, with the appeasement of we're experiencing the various combat fronts, with the massive recruitment of personnel, and with the massive acquisition of means, I think that we will be able to have the necessary material to ensure this control, so that the road situation in our urban centers becomes pleasant and is no longer an obstacle for people who are abroad to take the road. So all this is the rebuilding of society. The rebuilding of society so that we can live better, flourish among fraternities. Finally, is another chapter that I consider to be the most important. It is a chapter of the Confederation of States of Sahel. As you may know or may not know, since 1986, I have been reading this chapter on how to build a confederation of states. So I wrote several writings in and etc. And when the opportunity presented itself, we said to ourselves, why not? Why not try even if we are going to fail? We started laughing, etc. But I think that today, with the completion of this project, those who laughed at the beginning are ashamed of themselves now. The masses have seized the project so that it themselves now that pushes the leaders towards the realization of the confederation and the federation. Why do I speak like this? Because you know that our countries, each one more is isolated, is very fragile. We are talking about sovereignty. And our countries isolated cannot assure their sovereignty in the face of the enemy forces that we have in front of us. I must tell you that throughout my studies and my life, I have always fought against the influence of imperialism in my country. But when I became prime minister, I understand that I had not fully grasped the influence of imperialism in my country. That is its existence. And I saw how in Spain this antagonism is harmful to the well-being of our country. You know, often in my statements, I come back to this point so that people can become aware of it. But when you're not confronted with these effects, it is difficult for you to understand the message. So the influence is of imperialism in the development of our society is very big. And so, if we want to evolve, we will have to manage to overcome this, to find our own way of developing ourselves. However, it is so many isolated states, it is difficult. If we put together, we can build a strong bloc on the level of the population, on the level of the economy, and the military level to be able to resist in the face of all the attempts of imperialism to dominate us. We can witness what happened during the coup d'etat general Thioli in Nigeria. If there had not been the solidarity of Mali and Burkina Faso, imperialism would not have hesitated to intervene to lead the massacres of the Nigerian civilized population to reinstate the agents in power. So it's quite simple. I would like this construction site, the constitution of the Confederation of the IAS to consolidate so that we can reach our federation and stabilize our institutions in the region to be able to face the challenges of the struggles against external influences and the challenges of development and free movement of our population. So here are the construction sites that were there that are permanent. And that is to tell you that you will have a lot to do. But I think your task is much easier because now the insecurity is more and more jubilant. And people are also starting to understand. When we arrive, most people have their minds formatted on the Western model. That is to say that thinking was directed. People were not convinced that we could think differently. But now we have noticed that with the work that we have started to do, many are beginning to understand that we can think differently and we can build ourselves differently so that the task is a little easier. Unfortunately for you, you have a qualified staff, whether it is your Secretary General, whether it is your cabinet here, who is ready to take up the challenges, who is ready to take up the challenges so that we can trust them. In any case, just like within the government, as I told you, I was good in intelligence with all the ministers who were placed in the different governments. Within the premature, it was the same thing. I have never had a problem with a person, either a secretary general or a cabinet member, who was not found a solution for an agreement. So I think that you avoid being an institution that is blocked to move forward. So you have all the tools to succeed. And so I wish you a good journey and that there's an end to everything. And at the end of your journey, you can be proud of yourself and your country.